Everybody, welcome to Texas News Studio. I'm your host, Mark Myers. We've got a lot of breaking news right now. Israel has started to attack Iran. This developed a little over an hour ago. We've been keeping up on all of our different platforms tonight over on Rumble and Twitch, coming to you live now on YouTube. And a lot to report in terms of the developments going on. So again, so far we've had no reports on the oil facilities, but there's been attacks on some of the power plants, and also one of the Islam Shahir missile factory has been completely destroyed. This is coming from Endgame. Explosions also over the cities of Isfahan. Explosions in Tehran are over, though. Also, that the U.S. military did not participate in the Israeli strikes against Iran. This is just breaking tonight. We are covering this for you live. And the developments right now, hang on one second. White House was alerted just before the Israeli strikes on the Iranian military targets. So they didn't want to really let anybody know until the very last second here. Here is Sent Defender right now, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put this up. Hang on one second. 2 Arab sources have told NBC News that it appears an initial strike by Israel against the Iranian capital Tehran has targeted barracks or an office and a weapons depot of the IRGC. We've seen the explosions earlier tonight. Again, this has been, some people think that this could be still limited at the moment. We're kind of in a phase right now, kind of a wait and see phase, how widespread this may develop. But right now, we're keeping a very close eye on it. Also, IDF strikes with Iranian sites with precise munitions. A lot of footage coming in tonight. This is from Isfahan. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can pull this up. Look at this. I'm getting reports. We may be getting more waves coming in. I've had all kinds of different reports coming in tonight about, you know, if that was it or not. Also, Pentagon F-16 warplanes coming to the region will protect our forces and Israel. Here's the IDF spokesperson here. Let me show you this real quick. This was up earlier. Hang on.
Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran. The regime in Iran and its proxies in the region have been relentlessly attacking Israel since October 7th on 7 fronts, including direct attacks from Iranian soil. Like every other sovereign country in the world, the State of Israel has the right and the duty to respond. Our defensive and offensive capabilities are fully mobilized. We will do whatever necessary to defend the State of Israel and the people of Israel. In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the State of Israel, right now, the Israel Defense Forces is conducting precise strikes on military targets in Iran. The regime in Iran and its proxies in the region have been relentlessly attacking Israel since October 7th on 7 fronts, including direct attacks from Iranian soil. Like every other sovereign country in the world, the State of Israel has the right and the duty to respond. Our defensive and offensive capabilities are fully mobilized. We will do whatever necessary to defend the State of Israel and the people of Israel. In response to months of continuous attacks from the regime in Iran against the State of Israel.
Let me continue on here, developments. This is just a lot of reports coming in. First off, from Scent Defender, True Believer, Pentagon states that the U.S. military did not participate in the Israeli strikes against Iran. And also, the Fars news agency is reporting that Iranian military base to the west and southwest of Tehran has been targeted by Israeli strikes, with air defenses claimed to have been attempting to intercept the attack. So that's coming from Scent Defender as well. What do we got here? What? I don't know about this one. Oh, these are B-2 bombers, maybe. Israeli officials tell NBC News that Israel is not striking Iranian nuclear facilities or oil fields and is targeting and focusing in on military targets. Coming from NBC News. So they're not targeting Iranian nuclear facilities or oil fields at this time, although that could come on later on down the line, but not right now. Thank you, everybody, for watching in. Good to see everybody tonight. There's Fishing 247 over on YouTube. And then again, thanks everybody for watching us up on Rumble. Everything's breaking as we speak right now. Iran State TV says operations at Tehran airports are normal. If you believe the Iranian TV, they're saying right now that it's normal. More reports coming in, though, that the Islam Share missile factory has been completely destroyed per source. This is coming from Evergreen Intel right now. Here's other reports coming in. Iranian media reporting that everything is normal in Tehran. So there have been some strikes within Tehran or some of the facilities, but that's about all I've got at the moment. Intensive IDF fighter jet flight activity in the skies around the Negev desert, perhaps anticipation of a quick Iranian response. But the bottom line is, from what we can tell tonight, Fars agency now admits many military bases in the west and southwest of Tehran were hit. Consequences are unclear, coming from UKR report. Again, we do have IDF fighter jets are up in the sky right now. Also, we've had reports of widespread internet disruptions in Tehran. That's developing. Rhonda's reporting now explosions in Tikrit, Iraq. That just popped off. Here is Defense Prime Minister and the Minister of Defense at the Underground Command. Let me show you this real quick. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Minister of Defense, surrounded by military officials at this is the Underground Command and Control Center of the IDF in Tel Aviv during tonight's strikes against Iran. Have new reports right now, I believe, of Israeli fighter jets in the skies above Jordan. Hang on one second. Let me take a look at this real quick. Just one report that I've got so far. Let me share this to you. These could be maybe patrols for what could be a response from Iran. That just popped up a few moments ago. This is again over around, whoa, right around Jordan. Look at that. Oh. There it goes. Okay, so we're keeping an eye on that. Here is something here from Scent Defender thinking that this is likely has ended now, at least around Tehran. Let me show you this real quick. This is coming from a flight from Istanbul, Turkey, is preparing to land at the Imam Khomeini International Airport in Tehran, meaning that the Israeli retaliatory strike against Iran has likely ended. So right around at least the Iran area, Tehran area, it looks like that may be ending. We've had reports again across western Iran tonight. There's been strikes, but perhaps right around Tehran itself, that may have ended. We'll keep an eye on that. Biden saying we understand Israel's right to self-defense. Again, U.S. officials confirmed the Biden administration was formed hours before Israel's Friday night strike on Iran. Good to see everybody in here tonight, guys. Earlier reports from Endgame says there was a squadron of Israeli warplanes heading east. That's about 30 minutes ago. A lot of people are still feeling that this has been actually a fairly restrained response from Israel so far. We'll wait and see. Of course, it could be just to neutralize defense systems, but again, we'll keep a close eye on things. But again, the bottom line, from what I can tell, the more significant is the Islam Shahr missile factory has been completely destroyed. Again, even Iranian state media says several military bases in the west and southwest of Tehran were the targets of Israel's strike. But a lot of people are still saying that largely so far, this has been a rather limited response by Israel against the IRGC sites located around the Iranian capital of Tehran. Of course, we're not going to know the extent of the damage. Some people, Scent Defender says likely through surface-to-air missiles sites as well as an airbase near Tehran were some of the targets. So far, a bit of a limited strike coming in. New report, Iranian sources, an explosion occurred at the Iranian Ministry of Defense in central Tehran. Also getting reports, Iranian sources report that Israel targeted an electrical substation and military barracks. Coming in here, this is belonging to the IRGC. It says, although none of the targets were damaged as Iranian air defenses intercepted all incoming threats, at least that's one report. Israel Army radio from Engage just 2 minutes ago, citing a military source. The attack against Iran is in its early stages. So we are still in the early stages so far. Ron is reporting that. So we got a long ways to go on this, guys. Here's some more video coming in. This was previous Israeli strikes on Beirut, claiming to be tonight's strikes on Tehran. I think we had this up earlier. Hang on one second. That's just one video so far, guys. So I don't know. Tyler Rogaway over at the TWZ.com saying so far we're looking at a very limited operation, likely using standoff munitions. But says that's a big if, not a precursor of more to come, could be. Again, Israel officials told NBC News that Israel did not strike Iran's nuclear facilities or oil fields, but focused on military targets. But again, that's so far. And we are still getting reports that this is still in the early stages as well. So we're not even there yet. Also getting reports right now that citizens in Tehran have flocked to gas stations following Israel's strikes on Iran. Again, the Prime Minister is at the IDF headquarters at the Kira base in Tel Aviv. Says the military action was confirmed by phone close to the attack in order to prevent leaks coming from Behold Israel. So far, again, early stages of this. So far, again, from NBC News, Israel is not striking at Iranian oil fields or nuclear facilities we just talked about. Says we're targeting things that might have threatened us in the past or could do in the future. Again, we've had reports that the flight operations are resumed at the Imam Khomeini International Airport in Tehran. Iran State TV says situation normal at Tehran's 2 airports. So we're again looking at the early stages. The betting odds on Polymarket went from 25% to 90 to 100% only minutes after it was reported explosions have been heard in the Iranian capital of Tehran. Let me show you this real quick. You're familiar with this betting platform. Been making the news lately. See how it just popped up around the 25% mark to basically 100%. Just like that. So again, what we're getting so far is the attack has been on military targets so far from Israel. We've kind of got the impression so far it's been relatively limited in nature so far, but we could still be looking at more to come. Could be a softening up phase. Also, the Chief of Staff and the Commander of the Air Force commanded the attack on Iran. This has come from YNE Yet Alerts. Again, the Khomeini International Airport, if you're interested in flying in tonight, they're saying that the airport's in stable operations at the moment. Reports now cyber attacks on all media throughout Iran. We've had a whole lot of military aircraft across the region today, especially from the U.S. Air Force. So we've had that on and off throughout the day, keeping a close eye on things. some reports coming in, although second wave of attacks is about ready to get going. Let's keep an eye on that. I'm waiting for more. Now, these are Telegram reports, so I'm still waiting for some more other reports coming in. Just a few coming in. I want to jump the gun quite yet. We want to make you aware of the fact that we may be looking at a second wave coming in pretty soon. Just back and forth. Let's just keep a hold on this for just a little bit. Here's the, let me show you this real quick. Also, the Israel Chief of General Staff seen at the underground fortified headquarters and command center of the Israeli Air Force during tonight's strikes against Iran. Also, alongside the commanding officer of the IAF, Major General Tomer Bar. Let's look at that. Second wave attacks, Ron is reporting right now. Hang on 1 second. Hang on. Hang on, guys. I want to make sure about this so we can get make sure we're getting a little bit of verification on this before we jump the gun again. It does look like we have a second wave of Israeli attacks have started. Reports of an attack in Shiraz, according to Israel's Channel 12. So that's developing right now. Let's look at that real quick. Okay, so a second wave of Israeli attacks have started. We're not done with this. This is just breaking right now, and we want to make sure we got this right. Second wave attack has started. Second wave of attacks coming from Apex News as well. Channel 12 is reporting the same thing. Let me change this up in our command line here. So when we get you this, hang on. So we're looking at a second wave of attack, at least from Channel 12 is reporting it over in Israel. Let's look at that. Reports, Brian's breaking reports of strikes, explosions in Shiraz, southern Iran. Getting these reports right now. This is a new report coming in. Jacob over on Rumble, by the way, heightened GPS jamming activity in Tehran. Want to make you aware of that. So we're trying to be really careful on our reporting right now to make sure we get all this right. That's sometimes why I got to be a little bit careful. Again, Scent Defenders reporting the same thing now. Initial reports of now a second wave of Israeli strikes against Iran. Explosions being heard near the city of Shiraz in south-central Iran. Let me see if I can pull this up on the screen. Give me 1 second, guys. May not be doing a very good job on the map here. Hang on 1 second. Well, we'll have to look at that in a minute because I don't have that up on the map. There was Isfahan. But this is across south-central Iran right now. There's still commercial aircraft going across the northern part of the country right now. So we're looking at commercial aircraft, and then across southeastern, southern, extreme southern Iran, perhaps, but the rest of the country not so much. Pretty quiet. Oh, here it is. So there you can see Shiraz up on the map. That's to the east of. So let me pull that. Here we go in here. But let me. And that's not too far away from the Bushehr nuclear power plant, which is in an interesting, I think, biblical area what the Bible talks about. Which something could happen someday. I've heard some prophecies about that. Could be Psalm 83, I'm not sure. Or it's another one. Keep an eye on that. Second wave of Israeli strikes. This is near the city of Shiraz in south central Iran. More reports coming in, a massive line of cars at gas stations in the Iranian capital of Tehran, causing their residents begin to panic. So again, we're watching that. Watching this very closely. Pulling up all the information here. So we do have a second attack. Also breaking. Explosions in Mosul, Iraq. Just broke. So we got explosions now in Mosul, Iraq, the heart of Iran's gas industry. Breaking right now. Explosions reported in Mosul, Iraq, the heart of Iran's gas industry. That just broke. Hang on. Hey, thanks, Dines. Yeah, right now, we had the horns and everything up earlier, but when I'm doing the live reporting right now, I can't do that. So, second wave of attacks on Iran is underway. Heavy explosions in Mosul, Iraq right now. We're just getting that coming in. Again, second wave. This is Charles Lister. Second wave of Israel strikes appear to be underway, with explosions reported near Shiraz. Highways, some highways perhaps in Iran are shutting down as well. Let me see if we can pull that up. Hang on, guys. And thanks, everybody. Yeah, your support's really will be greatly appreciated tonight, especially over on YouTube, guys. I don't even have it monetized. We've got 700 people and there's no monetization. So if you want to help us out through Super Chat, that would be great. Let's look at the map here real quick. Hang on one second. How's it traffic in here? Let's show the traffic layers. Sorry, I got the wrong one. I don't think it's going to show it right now. Here we go. Well, we'll keep an eye on that because some of that's still showing up. There are some areas in here. We'll keep a close eye on that, on the road conditions around Iran right now. That's Google Maps at the moment. Let's go back to the reporting, though, because this is the most important thing that I need to make you aware of. True Believer, Syrian channels reporting that military bases and air defenses in the southwest of the country have been targeted tonight by Israeli missile attacks believed to have been launched by aircraft over northern Israel and Lebanon, with several sites being struck in this. Let me pull up more. Hang on. Again, several sites being struck in Damascus and the Homs governorates. Syrian air defenses were engaged. Israeli attacks on Iran are still continuous, an Israeli official tells IDF military radio, coming from Fatex within the last 1 minute. Strategic points in Shiraz are being targeted in the second wave of Israeli strikes on the Islamic regime in Iran. Just to recap as well, the U.S. was not involved in Israel's military operation against targets in Iran. The U.S. was not involved. Iran is reporting, according to the Ma'ariv newspaper, more than 100 Israeli fighters participated in the attack on Iran. The fighter jet pilots, I would assume. So again, the U.S. was not involved in Israel's military operation, at least not directly. Many military bases, to recap, guys, in the west and southwest of Tehran were hit. The consequences are unclear. So we're keeping a very, very close eye on things, guys. A lot going on. Very fast developments. Also, you can stay with us through our TNS newsletter if you ever want to check us out. We've got updates as well. The strikes in Mosul, still watching that very closely. Syrian reports of an attack this was earlier, on Syrian territory towards an Iranian radar stations. But the Shiraz, Iran area, this is in southern Iran right now, is the latest area that they're focusing in on. So this second wave of attack has begun. Explosions occurring. Again, you can stay with us as well. Keeping a very close eye on things. Everything that I've got for you is this is the latest one 3 minutes ago. Sent Defender senior Israeli officials state that precision strikes against military sites inside Iran are still ongoing. So this is still an ongoing operation. Here's what we've been telling you about the latest area across southern Iran. Let me pull this up on screen. This is coming from Fatex, guys. And all these are good sources. When we give you these sources, guys, this is good reporting for the reports that we get. So all of our moderators, we try to do a good job of trying to find you the best reliable information we can. Now, they're saying that they have denied explosions heard in Shiraz. We'll see. Of course, that's the Iranian state mirror news agency that's saying that. So there's been back and forth about who says what, but the Iranian state news agency denies explosions heard. Again, just a recap, this is also coming from ABC News. Israel does not attack Iran's nuclear facilities or oil fields, focusing only on military targets. Keeping a very close eye on things. We're watching the second wave of attack right now. The second area maybe focusing a little further south than Iran right now. Keeping a close eye on that. Again, Israeli attack on Iran continues. Iranian state media is saying that explosions heard in Tehran were all Iranian air defense, that no military centers west or southwest of Iran have been hit. By the way, gold is up a little bit right now, so is silver. In case you're interested. Tasnim. This is coming from Joe Truzman. Reports that Israeli strikes did not hit IRGC sites in the west or southwest areas of Tehran. More reports coming in. Oh, that now, breaking right now, Tehran Imam Khomeini Airport is being evacuated. This is coming from UKR report. Just one report that I see so far about the airport. But the IRGC Corps, the Tasman news agency, is now claiming there were no attacks against military sites in or around Tehran, and that all the explosions heard were just air defenses. This is despite almost all other Iranian media claiming that several bases were targeted. Again, Israeli strikes against Iran are still ongoing. A lot of back and forth news. Explosions in the area of Isfahan and Mashhad. That's coming in right now. Some reports coming in, although not confirmed, that this could this attack could last up to, will last 12 hours. That's coming from Jacob over in Rumble. We'll check in on that because I need to get some more sourcing on that. Let me check on something real quick, guys. Be right back. Hang on. Well, let's pull this back up. Hang on, guys. Also, U.S. President Joe Biden, who's currently at his family home in Wilmington, has been briefed by his national security team on tonight's wave of Israeli strikes against military targets inside Iran, but he does not plan to return to the White House. Let's pull this up here. So I'm looking at these reports coming in. Thanks, Jacob, on that. Here's one report here from Endgame, again saying from Eli Afrat that the American officials announced that this received an update from Israel that the attack on Iran will last 12 hours. 12 hours of this. Syrian state media, Israeli airstrikes targeted military sites in central and southern Syria. More reports coming in, guys. Israeli response to Iran's aggression may last up to 12 hours. Up to 12 hours tonight, guys. So we're watching this very, very closely. Again, thanks for everybody for joining us tonight. Again, more than 100 Israeli fighters participated in the attack on Iran. I would assume that's fighter jet pilots. Israel and USA air defense systems in the region are on full alert. Thanks, Don. Appreciate everybody. So we're keeping a close eye on things, guys. I'm waiting for the latest information to be coming in here. Israeli cabinet approved the attack on Iran last night. We are getting some explosions right now on some of the other feeds. Of course, I can't share it with y'all guys because of copyright issues. Otherwise, I would. But I can at least relay the reports to you. Also, new reports coming in, IAF jets over the Syrian-Jordan border. So that's coming in. On 1 second. So getting some reports coming in right now of IAF jets over the Syrian border. We've got that up. Let me look back in here real quick. Hang on, guys. So there's the Google Maps. Let's go over to Flight Radar again. I have to reset this. So give me a second. Here we go. That's all right. You can definitely see how Iran is just cleared out this whole area from Lebanon through Syria. Look at this gap where everybody's going around this whole area. So there definitely is a major disruption going on right now. So we're keeping a close eye on that. So again, things are pretty clear. According to Flight Radar, at the moment, not a surprise. Reports coming in, IAF jets over the Syrian border, Jordan border just a few moments ago. Iranian state media is now denying that reports of a second wave of Israeli strikes and explosions heard near the city of Shiraz in south central Iran, claiming the explosions heard were caused by air defenses in the north. Right now, though, Tehran airspace is closed. Iran State TV says from Insider Paper 2 minutes ago, at least 6 blasts heard around Tehran. So we've also had some planes that have been turning around in the airspace, deciding that it's not a good idea to go around into Tehran at the moment. So, from what we can tell, this may be going on for some time, maybe up to 12 hours. To recap, they're not targeting the Iranian nuclear facilities at this time. So that's kind of where we stand in terms of that. There's been reports of now potentially a second wave. And also that this could go on for 12 hours. Also breaking, Iran is now closing their airspace until 0530 UTC. Just showing this up right now. So their airspace is closed. That's why some of these planes are turning around. Let me show you this up on screen as well, so you can see what's happening. As soon as I can pull this up here. Fatex is reporting this again. The Iran closes their airspace. FIR closed. Iranian state media is downplaying the Israeli attack. Some suggest that Iranian retaliation will not happen. Of course, the night's still young. Again, Trey Yangst over Fox News confirming that Israel has started their attack against Iran. We definitely have airspace that's been closed down. Breaking just a minute ago as well, 3 minutes ago, Iranian president is calling for an emergency meeting with the military leaders of the Revolutionary Guard and the army in Tehran following the Israeli attacks. So that's breaking just a minute ago as well. Have had some reports of, again, Israeli military targeting a missile production facility belonging to the IRGC. But the bottom line so far, just to recap, is that Israel is not striking Iranian oil fields or nuclear facilities, at least at this time. A Fly Dubai flight, again heading to Dubai from Warsaw, has popped a U-turn. This is coming from Scent Defender. We just popped this up a little while ago. It's quickly leaving Iranian airspace. Okay. Heading back the other way. So there could be reports, so we could be looking at gas prices going up as well. We're watching that very closely. Same report right now. Let me show you this real quick. Flight over Iran heading toward Dubai has turned around. Just popped up a few moments ago. Hang on, guys, 1 second. Again, the Civil Aviation Organization of Iran has announced the closure of Iranian airspace. Israel Army radio says the attacks are still in their early stages. Some reports of explosions may be being reported in Damascus, Syria. We're keeping an eye on that. But that's earlier. Good to see everybody coming in tonight. So Iran is still is closing the airspace. Um, what else we got? Israel 13 news from Ronahis says dozens of drones participated in the attack against Iran. We'll take a look at the gas prices a little bit later on. I don't have enough information yet to tell you about. But so far, Tehran's oil refinery reports no fire or explosion. It's coming from Financial Juice. So far, we've had reports of more than 100 aircraft involved in this Israel operation. So they did a pretty good job of keeping things pretty tight until it happened. Getting a report now that Israel closed its airspace until 8:30 a.m. Breaking, Israel is now closing its airspace. Breaking, Israel has closed its airspace. Put this up on screen, guys. Hang on one second. So Israel has closed its airspace. This is going to be until 8:30 a.m. That just popped up. Let me look here. That's not what we want. Let's go back over to ADSB for just a second, guys. So Israel has now closed their airspace as well. In probably anticipation of something coming from Iran during the overnight hours. This is up until 8:30, I believe, their time. Or if not, it's UTC time. I didn't catch if that was UTC or 8:30 a.m. local. Okay, again, Iran's airspace will be closed until 8:30 a.m. Hang on, guys. What else we got? We've had new reports right now of explosions heard by residents in southeastern Iraq near the border with Iran. Iran has shut its airspace. So far, just to recap, Israel's airstrikes appear to be limited to military facilities, do not again include nuclear or energy sites. The Iran NOTAM is going to be in effect for the next 4.5 hours. Plus, we have Israeli airspace closed until 8:30 a.m. as well. There's Hilly. Good to see you in here tonight over on YouTube. More, Rhonda, we're getting some red alerts in Israel right now. One alert coming in, population 58,000. More red alerts coming in, guys, that we'll need to make you aware of in just a second. Fatex News says Israel's attack on Iran is carried out in several waves and is widespread. A source familiar with the matter tells Khan News. Israel continues to attack Iran, Channel 12 News. So we're getting some more alerts coming in, guys, on the Red Alert app here. Let me see if I can, let me show you these real quick. This just popped up. Wow, look at all these popping up now. Hang on one second. This just came up. Look at all that popping up now. This is up to the northeast of Haifa, through the confrontation line, Upper Galilee. We've had incoming UAVs in the northern part of Israel. Jacob's in here right now. New explosions reported in Basra, Iraq, on the border of Iran. Again, the civil aviation of Iran has announced the closure of Iran's airspace. This is going to be going on for about the next 4.5 hours. I'm looking at our Twitter X right now. We are running, everything's kind of loading a little bit slower right now. Some of you may be noticing that. The graphics are running slower at least. The graphics are running real slow. But I believe the internet itself is fine. thanks, Todd Bradshaw over on YouTube. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate everybody, guys. Thanks for your support. I didn't have time to monetize our YouTube channel tonight, so there's no ads. So I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. What do we got here? We're looking at all the different developments going on. Again, we are getting a kind of a low, slow feed. Feeds are loading slow on Twitch right now, where I think we're just getting absolutely overwhelmed. So we're looking at the drones coming in probably from Hezbollah, I believe. Several drones are heading south. So watching the drones coming in. Again, interestingly, Israel Army radio states that tonight's strikes against Iran were postponed several days due to adverse weather conditions and a desire for perfect execution. If you've been hearing on the cams lately, you could hear the wind in the background, so that may have died down a little bit, perhaps just the better weather. I haven't really looked at the weather, although I think we can actually look. Let's look at ADSB. Let's just look at the radar itself. And we should be even able to tell the cloud cover. So let me pull that up real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. Here we go. Right here, I think we can get the weather up. Here's our clouds, both. Very interesting. You can see a storm system or something off to the off to the east. So this little system probably right in through here was causing some of this precip down across southern Iran, perhaps. But it could have been an interference. But it's very interesting right down in here, south of Tehran, this little system that's been tracking through. If you can see off to the west, it's in the clear. Generally across the northern part of the state, country of Iran, it is generally, except for some clouds, but the precip is well off to the south. Very interesting. This is off to the southwest of Isfahan. But because of weather conditions earlier in the week, that's why they're delaying it, at least one reason, until this evening. We'll keep an eye on that. Iran is reporting right now Iraq suspends flights in all airports until further notice, state news agency. Coming from Reuters. Retrovinyl EAM test count is happening. More red alerts coming in too. Got a lot going on. I'm sorry, the red alert was referencing the weather conditions really more than anything. More explosions coming in. There was an attack earlier near Tehran, a radar system of an air defense battery. don't know. I've had one report of I don't know that this would make sense. I don't know about that one. We won't report that yet. But we've had some reports of cyber attacks in the media throughout Iran tonight. Again, Iraqi airspace now closed as well. So this is expanding, guys. Iraqi airspace is now closed. Israel airspace is closed. And Iran airspace is closed. The Iran airspace will go up till 1:30 a.m. Eastern Time, which is 12:30 a.m. Central Time where I'm at here in Dallas. So we've got about 4 hours to go of this, supposedly. We'll see. But that's kind of where we're at right now. So to recap, Iraq and Iran have closed their airspaces. If you believe Iran's Tasman news agency, they say no military centers were hit in Tehran, citing that air defenses were activated in response to explosions. However, Israel's source denies Iranian claims. Israeli official refuted Iran's claims about air defense success, asserting there were 0 interceptions during the strikes. Syrian Defense Ministry claimed an airstrike targeted military sites in southern and central Syria, with air defenses engaging some incoming missiles. Again, no attack on nuclear facilities. What do we got here? Jacobs reporting some warplanes near the Polish-Ukrainian border, a KC-135T Stratotanker border. Okay. If you're new to our channel, guys, whatever platform you're using, remember we're streaming on Rumble and Twitch and YouTube tonight. There's over 1,000 of y'all on YouTube and 400 plus on Rumble, 438, and then about 212 of you on Twitch. A lot of y'all up here with us tonight. So we got a lot of folks watching. If you're not subscribed, following us, you might want to follow us. We got here. Some additional strikes. Again, the Iranian president is holding an emergency meeting with the military leadership of the Revolutionary Guard and the army in Tehran following an Israeli attack. Trey Yanks, Israel is only striking military targets on Iran. Hang on.
Attack that drags the region into a broader war, I am told by a senior official here in Tel Aviv tonight that Israel is looking to send a message of deterrence to the Iranian regime to ensure that there are no further attacks against Israel. Remember, this was the second ballistic missile attack to take place against Israel this year. The first one in April after the targeted strike against a building next to the Iranian embassy in Damascus, Syria, and then the ballistic missile attack earlier this month following the killing of Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of Hezbollah, and the leader of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh. With that said, one official is telling me tonight that the Israelis are on high alert. They do fear that Iran will respond. And despite the fact that analysts said a response could come immediately, this official said the Israelis are prepared for any possible scenario. There's an understanding that Iran could.
So we're waiting for any scenario. It could happen now. It could happen later. We don't know. Breaking just a moment ago from Wall Street Journal, a U.S. official said Israel's attack on Iran is unfolding in multiple stages with a second wave of strikes again now underway. Again, Israel officials say strikes on Iran will take place over several waves. Hang on one second here. Pull this one up. Got so many developments going on. We're watching again Poland and Ukraine tonight, but also the Middle East. Iran State TV says blasts were due to activation of air defense system. Breaking, Iraq again suspends all flights at all airports. Airspace closed, all flights are suspended in Iraq. With all that going on, we do have E-6Bs up on either side of the United States right now, just to let you know. These are, especially out on the West Coast, these are dragging the wire that would be for the VHF, for the subs. So we got one on the West Coast, the Tacoma, and over on the East Coast. We'll keep you updated. They're all saying pretty much the same thing. The second wave of attacks on Iran is underway. Yeah, the dragging of the wire is so that's a long wire that comes out from the plane of this E-6B aircraft. It's like a 707. And that long wire is a radio wire, and that has to be drug out. It can be up to a mile up in the sky. There's a wire coming out from the plane. And that then is able to communicate with submarines that are down in the ocean. Because these frequencies to get down into the ocean are very low frequencies, VLF. So these are very low frequencies, and you've got to be able to have a certain antenna length to be able to get, and even when it's down there, it's very slow baud rate, so you're not getting a lot of information, so it's very slow. You're not going to be watching TV or anything like that, but it's enough to get a emergency action message out. So that's how they do it. So when you go through through the ocean like that, especially when you're down however many feet or thousands of feet down below in the ocean, that's how a submarine's able to pick up a signal, is from those aircraft and from those wires that come out from the aircraft. Rhonda's saying Israeli broadcasting authorities, several fighter squadrons participated in the attack on Iran, including an F-35, F-16, and F-15s. Hilly says, what flight tracker? I'm using right now the FR Flight Tracker 20, Flight Radar 24, and then I'm also using ADS-B, Hilly. So I got both of those up. This right now we're looking at is ADS-B. These are all things that you can find on the internet. You just type in ADS-B or Flight Radar 24, and you can track all that. We're tracking right now the commercial air traffic. And again, usually you're not going to be able to get a lot of tracking of military stuff, especially during an operation. But you can track the commercial air traffic and at least kind of see where the traffic is being rerouted to and blocked off in certain regions. Thanks, guys. I'll put their flight radar up in the chat if you want to take a look, guys, so you all can check it out on your own. There it is. Yeah, that's a the Fort 1776 is the tow wire for the ELF. Okay. Had some GPS disruption around Tehran this evening. Show you this. What's wrong with that? Again, Iraq's Ministry of Transport has announced the suspension of air traffic at all airports in the country until further notice. Breaking, more explosions now heard near Tehran. ELINT News is reporting this. Had some more explosions now. Let's keep an eye on that. More explosions in near Tehran. Again, the U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin has spoken with Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant as precision strikes continue against military targets inside Iran. Had a report now of some potential targets, explosions in around Tehran. And then as you can see up on the screen right now, we've got a lot of air traffic that's been cleared out through Iran right now. So there's nothing going on. That's all cleared out. It's going to be going on for at least another 4.5 hours. Sound of continuous defense fire can be heard in the center of Tehran. More reports right now of air defense activated over Tehran. Let's go back in here. Let me see if I can't get this back up. We're only going to be able to see, just to let you know, the overall situation. Here's our radar. You can see all the commercial air traffic has been cleared out across the country right now. Look at this. So let's go back in. You can see it's right down across the southeastern tier of the country. It's all cleared out. Look at Tehran. And just a few clouds around here as well. These are some higher clouds, perhaps. And that's about it. But all the precip is well off to the south-southwest. And then the flight traffic going through Azerbaijan. So let's go in a little bit further. We're getting reports now of reports of some explosions around Tehran. Let me look a little bit further into this. Air defense reported to be active to the east of Tehran. Explosions heard. Hang on. Not really sure where this is at. Well, we get the general idea. We keep on looking. Air defense active in central Tehran. That's breaking right now. Also across the east of Tehran. Jerusalem Post reporting over 100 aircraft are currently participating in IDF strikes across Iran. Looks like we just had a reset on our platforms, guys. You'll have to reset with us here on Twitch. Sorry about that. Series of new Israeli strikes now in and around the Iranian capital of Tehran, with residents reporting at least 4 explosions now. 4 explosions coming up around Tehran. A lot of locals are hearing the explosions. The state-affiliated Tasman news agency is reporting air defense activity in the city. Again, air defense reported to be active, especially to the east of Tehran. 4 explosions heard in Iran's capital, Tehran. This is the latest one that I've got. 4 explosions now coming up. Let's put this up on our flash alert. Just let you know. Again, these are 4 explosions heard in Iran's capital. Iran's air defense activated in Tehran. This is coming from Mossad commentary. So here we got a new explosion.
Hostile aircraft intrusion. Matsuba, Shlomi.
So we got a new red alert in Israel right now. That just popped up on my red alert app here just a second ago. So we want to make you aware of that. Let's see what we got. One of our moderators over in Twitch can report that. We'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, we had a reset, guys. We were at the 48-hour mark on Twitch tonight. That's why it reset. Nothing more than that. Here's some footage coming in right now from air defense activity in Tehran. Hang on. We think this is new footage. We're not sure. That's coming from Fatex, so credit to Fatex. Everybody, you know, that we put in. Air defense, same thing coming in from EINT News, same reports. Thanks, Mean Bodine. Thanks everybody, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching us tonight. We are giving you the latest. Again, we were looking at the second wave. Just to recap, if you're just joining us tonight, we've had airspace closed in Iran, Iraq, and now Israel. Israel is closing their airspace up until 8:30 a.m. Iran's going to be up for another 4.5 hours, and especially around Tehran, all the aircraft have been closed. I mean, they're not flying tonight. And that's just looking around Tehran right now. I got the ADS-B up. Let's pull back out so you can see further this entire region. And again, I'm just showing the commercial air traffic because we're not going to be seeing military aircraft, obviously. Look at that. That whole area is just shut down. So nothing's going on. And now we're just watching the latest developments. Let me see if I can't get the flight radars a little bit more easier to visualize, I guess. Let me see if we can't reset this feed here real quick. Hang on. All right. Look at that whole area right in through here. Just blanked out. All right, hang on one second. Not what I want either. Okay, guys, so with that in mind, let me keep on going on. Just wanted to kind of get this caught up in here real quick. Also, dozens of drones participated in the attack against Iran. Here's more reports coming in.
5 میدون سپاه ساعت 5 صبح.
Again, intense air defense activity still ongoing. We've had anywhere from 3 to 4 heavy explosions heard in Tehran. Hang on, same one, I think. EINT News says a second wave of attacks began, includes targets collected over the years by the Iranian missile industry. Here's something that just broke. Israel's attack on Iran is ongoing and expected to be a one-night affair. A source with direct knowledge tells ABC News. No Israeli casualties and no damage to Israeli warplanes have been reported so far, the source said. Saying so far, this is coming from Apex, a one-night affair. So far, they're saying it's a one-night affair. That's all I've got so far to tell you. So I was looking at the air defense activity from pretty much the same sources. There's a few more coming in as well. We're looking at sunrise in Tehran. It's just in over an hour from now, 6:21. Hang on one second. Thanks, everybody. And good to see Stephen in here tonight over in Rumble. Sorry, guys, if I missed you earlier. Obviously, working a lot of different feeds in here. So, again, thank you so much for your support, watching the channel, staying with us, moderating, guys. Thank you so much. Just we're moving back and forth between all these pages here. Here's some more air defense activity that I could show you over Tehran just a few moments ago. Hang on.
می‌بینی؟ می‌بینی؟
So a lot of air defense activity, again, going on through Tehran right now. Getting reports now of gas stations backed up for miles in Tehran. I think we had this up earlier, but let me show it again. Israel media, the first stage is destroying Iran's air defense systems.
على طهران بطائرة مسيرة يتم اعتراضها حاليا. إذن
a lot of reports coming in again that Israel is targeting Iran's air defense systems in the capital, Tehran, and various areas of the country. Constant air defense fire in Tehran. So again, this current wave, second wave, we still probably are looking at more strikes. Then again, it depends on who you're listening to ABC News that said this would all be wrapped up tonight. We'll see if that's the case or not. Here's something here from Scent Defender. Let's show you this. Put this up on screen. It says more footage of anti-aircraft fire seen over the Iranian capital of Tehran. It says this kind of air defense will do literally nothing against air-launched ballistic missiles. Israel News Pulse, Israel Air Force strikes dozens of strategic targets in Iran. Again, Israel Air Force fighter jets have struck dozens of strategic targets within Iranian territory, according to N12's news. Put this up real quick. I'm going to go over to our other page just real quick to update this. It's just a recap. Let's put this in the lower third. Give me 1 second in here. Washington Post says this is not the strike Israel spoke of, but an opening move, campaign of days possibly. It says the Washington Post reports that the recent strikes on Iran are not the primary operation that Israel referred to, but rather an initial opening move. Statement says further actions will follow, indicating the possibility of an extended campaign. We talked about this earlier, targeting strategic locations in Iran for the next hours and days. So there's been all kinds of news. We've heard it would wrap up tonight. We've heard it would be on 12 hours. We've had other reports of days. Iranian official, Iran is ready to respond to Israeli aggression. And again, just to recap, several fighter squadrons participated in the attack on Iran, including F-35, F-16, and F-15. First wave tonight was attacking defense systems in order to continue the attack. Second wave attacking long-range missile depots. Update also from Iran state media in Tasman. It looks like it's ended. The air defense firing is ended. No explosions, fires, etc. have been reported in Tehran so far. By the way, the Joe Rogan Trump interview has just uploaded and dropped on the podcast for Joe Rogan. Lucas Tomlinson says this is the largest attack by Israel on Iran in history. Vivid. Some of the ballistic missile production facilities, air defenses, have been potentially destroyed by the Israeli Air Force. Again, Tasman News Agency informed sources Iran is ready to respond to Israel's aggression. The ABC News report, like I mentioned earlier, said they're saying it was just going to be a one-night event, if you believe in ABC News. Also, air defenses have been activated. This is Endgame saying they're the residence of the Iranian supreme leader in central Tehran. Had some reactivation now of air defenses in some areas of Tehran that's going on. Getting reports of that. Air defense active again. Geo Insider saying so far only 5 images have surfaced online, 3 of which are outdated and unrelated to the recent attacks. Says we should expect clearer updates by morning or in the coming days. Says please understand that on the ground reporting from Iran remains scarce. That's coming from Geo Insider. Geo Insider is also saying reports of new explosions in Tehran. Air defense activity continues over Tehran. Joe Rogan's podcast with Donald Trump is now live. Just giving you everything tonight. Hang on one second, guys. If I miss y'all over on Rumble or anybody else, let me show you this real quick. Here's a good one. Thanks for Jacob for sharing that. Let me show you this. Hang on, guys. Areas targeted in Iran till now. Let me give a clearer picture of this. I think we can. These are the targets. Let me take myself off. So these are the different locations that we've had, I believe, so far tonight. Keep a close eye on that. And these are strategic sites in Iran. Renewed air defense activity in Tehran. Locals are hearing explosions. That's what they're saying. Iranian sources to the Submarine News. Iran is ready to respond to the Zionist aggression. Again, Washington Post, according to informed sources, expected that Israel's strikes on Iran will continue for several hours. Iranian media close to the Revolutionary Guard says Iran is preparing to respond to the Israeli attack. Says also Israel has carried out preemptive strikes on radars in Syria to blind Iran's air defenses, the Jerusalem Post reports. Yeah, we get some reports that Iran may be getting ready to respond. Watching that closely. Good to see Bry over on YouTube. I see you. Good to see you tonight. What else we got in here? says reports indicate a resurgence of air defense operations over Tehran, with Israeli strikes on select targets on Iran projected to continue for several more hours. Again, Israel media reports the strikes on Iran will occur over several waves, may continue up for 12 hours. So a little bit quieter at the moment. We're kind of in a wait and see mode again. Just to recap right now, we've had at least 2 waves of strikes going on, with several areas being targeted so far, but there's still a lot of wait and see on all this. Iran has threatened now to respond in some form or fashion. The airspace has been cleared out in Iran, Iraq, and now Israel, at least till 8:30 a.m. in Israel. So we're still a lot going on, a lot of differing ideas of how long this will go on. Will it go on for a few more hours? Will it go on for 12 hours? Could it go on for several more days? And there's different media outlets that are telling us all different things about what may or may not happen. Again, Iranian officials have stated they are preparing a response to tonight's Israeli attack. Also, air defense activated reportedly near the Supreme Leader Khomeini's residence. Again, Reuters quoting Iranian officials, Iran will respond to military strikes. So that's breaking right now. Charles Lister saying, with a second round of Israel strikes a reality, these aerial strikes are now more expensive. Israel's largest on Iran ever, and the risk of Tehran feeling the need to respond has risen markedly from 1 to 2 hours ago. Says high stakes. So there's a bit of calm in terms of the air defense work in Tehran, but we may be looking at some sort of reaction now. Washington Post, the attacks expected again to continue for several more hours. Person said the target list contains military assets, particularly missile manufacturing facilities and aerial defense sites. Here's another one from Trey Yangst. I think this is new. Hang on.
Days into the war between Israel and Hezbollah, these key Iranian proxies across the Middle East. And of course, the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen have also been involved in the fight, launching both missiles and drones towards cities like Tel Aviv, where we are reporting from tonight. Jason?
Trey, a breakdown.
And again, just to give you the backdrop of this, we are 385 days into the war between Israel and Hamas. We are 384 days into the war between Israel and Hezbollah, these key Iranian proxies across the Middle East. And of course, the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen have also been involved in the fight, launching both missiles and drones towards cities like Tel Aviv, where we are reporting from tonight.
So we are a little bit on its waiting now. Maybe there's going to be an Iranian response. We've had all these air defense activities going on around Tehran. That seems to have quieted down at the moment. A lot of different information coming in from anywhere from several more hours of this to a multi-day attack plan. We'll see. There's Jacob. Good to see you all tonight, guys. Again, Tasman says Iran prepared to retaliate against Israel's assault. So it's 5:43 a.m. in the capital of Tehran. It says we'll have sunrise at 6:21 a.m. So it's going to be coming up pretty soon. Looking at the NASA firms imagery, there could have been, let me just show this up on screen, guys. Hang on one second. The power station could have been hit, according if this is correct information for the NASA firms. Also a steel company, according to Google Maps, according to NASA firms, fire mapping. Also, Stevens Cement, NASA firms. This was near Isfahan. Time 4:35 local. Also a Isfahan oil refinery. NASA firms. So we'll keep an eye on it, guys. We still are waiting for everything to come in. But those are some of the early reports that I've got for you. Israel 12, again, dozens of targets hit in Iran thus far. Right, Chloe's doing good. She's somewhere in the other room actually right now. That I don't know where she's at. Again, Wall Street Journal citing that this is unfolding in multiple stages. Got one report right now. The Iranian army's first air base in Tehran was attacked by Israel. Several ambulances potentially were sent to the base. But it has kind of quieted down at the moment. We're not getting the air defense activity that we had earlier. Quiet before something else pops up again. One report coming in, the whole Israeli security establishment is now meeting for consultations. It says Tehran is ready to give a proportional response to Israeli strikes, Tasman agency reported, citing an informed source. So again, it's kind of quieted down from where it was earlier. We had a lot of activity going on, and but I don't have anything new to report on this at this very moment in here. And of course, this is going to be potentially going on for maybe, I mean, who knows how long this is going to go on. Going to be going on for a while. It's not going to just get solved during the overnight, I don't think. Again, according to the Washington Post, tonight's Israeli precision strikes inside Iran are targeting Iranian military assets, mainly missile manufacturing facilities and air defense sites, with them expected to last several more hours. Iran's based analyst is saying on Clubhouse that Israel is weakening Iran's air defense because he believes a bigger response is imminent. Now, the Sky News is broadcasting a live feed from Tehran. They're saying, I'm getting a report there's continuous air defense activity. That's about 2 minutes ago. Again, Iran will respond to Israeli military strikes. Got that. I'm going to go ahead and take the flight radar down for just a second. So again, this is where we're at, guys. We've had all this activity going on. This has been going on for quite some time with these different targets so far, the military installation facilities, storage facilities. Again, they're not targeting the Iranian or the nuclear facilities, at least not yet. We've had reports, though, that they said they'd reserve the right to. So overall, there's been dozens of strategic targets that have been struck in Iran. There is Iran saying they will respond. and a measured response, I guess you could say, a response proportional. Here's something here. Here's an Air Force base east of Tehran. So we're with you pretty late tonight, guys. This is one of our bigger crowds that we've had for quite some time, and letting you know what's going on in the world. We've been monitoring all day long, and we've been monitoring obviously for the last months that something like this would happen. Figured it eventually would. And also there's other flashpoints in the world. There are many other spots that we could be dealing with in the weeks and months ahead, including what's going on with the North Korean troops going into Russia and into eastern Ukraine now. They've been spotted, been seen, and that's something that could, and who knows what could happen with that, plus what's going on with China and Taiwan and North Korea in general over the Asia Pacific region. So there's a lot going on in the world, guys, beyond just this insanity in the Middle East. Got a breaking report right now. We do have air defenses active. At least one report from Brian Breaking's News near Iraq, near nuclear facilities. That's one report that I've got for you. Hang on. As soon as I can find it in here again. Give me 1 second. Hang on. Okay. This is our report. This is southwest of Tehran, Iraq. That's one report that I've got so far. Let me look a little further on that. That's air defense active. This is near nuclear facilities from Brian's breaking intel. By the way, I gotta let you know something. This is not related to what's going on, but we've been telling you about the censoring of this. I got a breaking report, mainly because of how much of a reach that Joe Rogan just has. They have censored his video with Donald Trump. Breaking. YouTube has censored Joe Rogan's Trump interview. The video amassed 290,000 views in minutes before it became unlisted. Breaking. We'll keep an eye on that. Aircraft also now being reportedly seen and heard over the Iranian capital of Tehran, with them believed to be likely Iranian fighters conducting combat air patrols. Anyway, let's go on. But the Joe Rogan podcast on YouTube just got censored. Unlisted now. Continuing on. Again, Iran's flights canceled indefinitely now. U.S. and Israel officials said there are now 3 waves of strikes that took place. The first waves focused on Iranian air defense systems. The second and third waves focused on missiles and drone bases and production sites. They're saying 3. Civil Aviation Organization says in Iran says all flights are suspended until further notice. Saudi Arabia Air Force early warning active near the Persian Gulf, probably monitoring Israeli aircraft right now. Austin Gallant connected on a call tonight. Readout expected from the Pentagon. Hey, thanks, Cranford. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you all are with us tonight. Been a long, long night. New explosions coming in. Time here in the United States is 9:36 Central. Here where I'm reporting to you from Dallas, 10:36 Eastern Time. We have a shelter in place now in Tennessee, I believe. East Tennessee Weather Network is saying those in the Kings Court area of Alcoa are under a shelter in place after an ammonia spill at U.S. Foods. Very interesting. Again, it's 6 in the morning in Tehran. Sunrise in 20 minutes. It's going to be interesting to see if we have attacks during the daytime as well. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. As I said before, the Donald Trump podcast on YouTube has been made unlisted moments ago. think it's popping up on, oh, maybe it's back up now. It says you can still see it, but it just says unlisted. It has 712,000 views so far, so I can find it. Guys, let me get a glass of water real quick. I'll be right back with y'all, okay? Hang on. Alrighty, back. Sorry about that. We're back. Okay, so back with that now. I don't know about the demonetization for Joe Rogan's, or just says unlisted. I don't know any more about that. We'll look at that a little bit later. I just don't know. True Believers saying, and Endgame saying, again from CNN, the strike's expected to last several more hours. Sources tell CNN. Smoke seen rising now from an IRGC airbase. I had it and then it just popped off. This is an air defense base near this town of Kosher in the Tehran province. That was up earlier. This is from Scent Defender. I'll put this up. Let you see. Can't really see, so let me take that down. There we go. But there has been an IRGC air defense base that has been struck. Pretty much the same reporting that we've been telling you. Israel Army radio citing security sources of strikes against Iran expected to continue for more hours. Again, all flights halted in Iran by the Civil Aviation Organization until further notice. Just a shout out to everybody that's been with us so late tonight, because this doesn't always, we're not always up this late. But here we are tonight. What are we? Oh, okay. So shout outs tonight. I haven't seen Rhonda in a while, but I want to thank everybody else that's with us at this moment. True Believers in here right now, and everybody else. Oh, there's Rhonda. I'm sorry, I just missed y'all. Sorry about it, guys. I see you in here now. So shout out to our moderators over on Twitch. Shout out to our moderator Hilly and Jan was up earlier, and on YouTube. Who else am I missing? If I'm missing you, just come on in and I'll shout out to you right now. Jerry was in up earlier. Saw you. And 327. It varies anywhere from 300 to 1,000 people on YouTube, depending on when. And then 329 of you, 30 of you on Rumble. I'm glad you all are with us tonight. I see Jacob, Mean Bodine, Cranford's in here. Guys, you all are a fantastic group of folks, and I just appreciate you all staying with us, supporting the channel, and watching you. But beyond that, just a very quick update. Our Rumble channel just surpassed 5,000 now. So 5,001 followers, okay? That's cool. Okay. Air defense activity and explosions seen earlier over western Iran with several strikes reported. So let me show you this. This is popping up now on Scent Defender. And the sun, as you can see, is a little bit of daylight showing up now too, I believe. Look at this. See, it's coming up. So we're getting daylight now. Air defense activity is still ongoing. New footage reveals intensified air defense operations. This is over Iran's Khuzestan province. So we're still getting that underway. Oh, here's Joe Rogan, guys, says, just to let you know, says there is no issue with YouTube censoring the Trump episode. It was just supposed to go live on both Spotify and YouTube at the same time. There's a glitch in Spotify upload system, so we delisted the YouTube link until it's fixed. It should be fine now, he says. So Joe Rogan, I mean, that's good to know. So it's back up. And he just clarified that over on Twitter X. So no issues. Again, we've had Israeli strikes hit Iranian military installation in Khuzestan. So there's our air defense activity. Again, Iranian Civil Aviation Organization announces suspension of all flights in the country until further notice. They're all saying the same thing about these strikes will last several more hours. Tehran at sunrise right now. Breaking news. Israeli public broadcaster says operation against Iran is over after 3 waves of strikes. Reuters. Just need to make you aware of this. This operation now against Iran is over. Breaking right now. Coming from Reuters. That just popped. Now, of course, we're waiting on the response, but in terms of the in terms of what Israel has done or what they've decided to do, the operation they're saying is over, at least this for this round. That just broke just a minute ago. This is coming from Fatex, but a lot of different news as well. But again, they are saying the operation is over. Three ways, ultimately, is what came out of all this. Let me keep on monitoring this for a little bit here. This is the latest one. Let me get some more information coming in. There's been a lot of air defense activity, but that's been about it so far. The NASA firm's data again shows several locations have been struck. We showed that fire map up earlier. Iranian air defense sites and weapons manufacturing have been hit so far. Again, U.S. and Israeli officials said 3 waves of strikes took place. But from what we can tell, Israel's attack on Iran began when the plane carrying the U.S. Secretary of State returning from the Middle East was landing in Washington, D.C., New York Times reported. Again, also, Axis reports that tonight's retaliatory strike against Iran consisted of 3 waves of attacks, with the first wave being against air defense sites, the second as well as the third being against missile and drone bases alongside production facilities. The New York Times says the attack on Iran is over at around 5 a.m. So we're going to have to wait for daylight, some more assessment to come in to see ultimately what's going to happen or not happen. But that's the report that I've got for that. Some of the folks are already, Fatex is already signing off until, again, this all breaks out again. So that's kind of where we stand at the moment on all this. But again, this is Israel Public Broadcaster says operation against Iran is over. So we're going to wait and see what Iran does against Israel. Some people are saying either Israel's attack on Tehran did huge damage and we're about to see serious retaliation and total war in the region, or it failed miserably and Iran will shrug it off. Daybreak should offer some clues to which of these 2 responses the world is about to see. New York Times, 2 Israel officials says the attack again on Iran is over. They hit 20 military sites during the attack. 20 is what we've got so far to be in. So we've got a lot of different contradictory, like some of the same thing when it came to when it was going to happen. They would say it was going to happen immediately, but it didn't happen immediately. So the same thing could be happening with this. I don't think it's over yet. I don't think we've seen anywhere near everything. I mean, we could be surprised. Or maybe Iran's response will be rather muted. That could be a possibility. But something is still going to give. Could happen during the overnight hours again. It could happen tomorrow or over the weekend. So that's where we stand. But that's what Israel is saying, that they have done what they wanted to do with 20 strikes after three waves of strikes, and they're now saying that it's over. 20 military sites were hit during the attack. But many of y'all believe that there's a lot more to come. I tend to believe it as well. It's just a matter of when. Just to let you know, guys, we've been covering this since, well, for a while now. Started popping off earlier, but kind of lost track of time when it all started, but we've been doing this for a while. Again, 3 waves took place. Again, Israel's operation against Iran has ended after striking roughly 20 sites. I just can't imagine with the talk that we were getting from Israel that this is over with. So I think that there's more to come. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if we're shocked to find the next response to be something else. It's not over with, guys. So yeah, we just don't know. The only thing we can do, guys, is give you the news as it comes in. But, you know, Israel was saying that they were going to do something really big, and I just can't imagine this was it. There's too much, and I don't think Israel would just say all that. Something's going to come, in my opinion, and that's what we say here with IMO. So in my opinion, I think there's still more to come. This is just the opening phase. There may have been 3 phases tonight, but there probably is more to come. But it might not be tonight. Probably won't be. So I'm looking through everything else coming in here right now. We're watching the sun rise. Atmosphere in Iran, the Iranian capital, I'm looking in here, is totally calm. Again, Israel military bombed about 20 targets over 3 waves of strikes. It ended about after 5 a.m. So that's kind of where we're at, guys, in terms of the developments that I've got. Anti-aircraft air defense is quieted down, and really not much else is coming on at the moment. Yeah, you just can't say that stuff about surprising the world and all the talk. I could see Iran or somebody else saying all that and nothing happens, but with Israel, I don't think they're going to say all that. I think they're going to do something. They usually do something about it. I'm going to end our broadcast pretty soon on YouTube, guys, because I can be more informal on the rest of our platforms for the remainder of the night or work behind the scenes, but I can't so much on YouTube. You're going to be seeing us and seeing me probably throughout the weekend no matter what. But that's the report that we've got at the moment on the developments concerning Israel and Iran. Just to summarize again, according to Israeli defense officials, tonight's strike campaign against military targets inside Iran has now ended with over 20 sites being targeted in 3 waves carried out by Israel's Air Force. And really, it's really quieted down. I've seen no other air defense activity going on. Everybody's pretty much saying the same things. I don't think it's done, but it may be done for a while. And that's pretty much it. Some people are already heading out to bed on our open source intel tonight, too. Okay, guys, on YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and end our broadcast now on YouTube. Join us for the remainder of the night on Rumble or Twitch. I'm going to put the link in our YouTube feed, so if you all want to join us, we're always up on Rumble or Twitch. So YouTube guys, if you're new, check us out. Please follow us on all of our platforms, no matter what. If you're first time, then you can always follow us, okay, no matter where you're at. So if you're new to Rumble, make sure you're following us because we're streaming all the time. So I want you all to make sure you follow us. Same with Twitch. This channel's up all the time. I run it up. It's always running 24/7. I can't do it on YouTube, but I can do it at the other platforms. YouTube guys, we're going to sign off again. Thanks for watching us. That's the latest information we got for us. I'm going to be back with y'all tomorrow, depending on when things pop off, which could be any moment, really. And we'll keep you updated, okay? Good to see Hilly in here tonight. Thanks for moderating for us on YouTube. Jan's been in here a lot as well. Thank you so much, guys, for us on YouTube. For the rest of the audience, stay tuned, stay with us. I'll be back in just a second. Rumble and Twitch. Hang on one second, okay? See you guys on YouTube in just a second.